Are you considering a move to Texas, but you're scared of the hot weather? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Rosemary Lewis, your educator agent with eXp Realty, and today I am going to unpack a huge objection that I hear for people thinking about relocating to Texas. But before I get into it, you know what I need you to do. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That way, every time I post a video, you will be the first to know all about it. Okay, let's get into the topic today. I am originally from Chicago, Illinois, and every time I tell people that my family has moved to Texas, many times one of the first questions they say is, "Whew, it's so hot there. How do you deal with the heat?" And I am here to tell you all about it. So first of all, y'all, I'm going to be 100% transparent and tell you it does get really, like it gets devil hot in Texas, okay? I am not going to even front and act like it doesn't, because it does. Especially in the summer months, you know, June, July, August, you best be ready, okay? So I don't care whatever you gotta do to feel confident about your body, so you can put on some tank tops and shorts. I don't want y'all out here stroking out, like just, you know what? Love yourself where you at. Go ahead and pull out that tank top if you are in Texas. But it should not punk you or scare you from moving here. And I'm going to give you my honest perspective, being from someone who was in the Midwest for the majority of their life. So when I lived in Chicago, I mean, obviously it was Chicago named the Windy City for a reason, because man, that wind will knock you off your feet. And not only that, like in Chicago, it just felt like winter lasted forever. And this is something that I thought about after I got here, is that in the winter, we are impacted by the elements. So you're impacted by snow, you're impacted by below temperatures, low temperatures, and things like that. And that actually causes a lot of havoc. And it just makes it more difficult because you have to prepare differently. Now stay with me. This is what I'm talking about. If it snows, then now you have to get up early and shovel your car. You gotta drive slower on the road. You have to wear more layers. You know, you have to be more careful. You gotta wait for salt trucks. Like, there is some effort that is required in order to live in a place that is impacted in that way. When it's hot outside, it's just hot. You know, I don't have to leave out of my house any earlier because it's 100 degrees. You know, I'm not layering up. I'm not driving slower. It's just warmer. At best, I just need to make sure that my air conditioner is going before I get into the car. So while the heat index can be higher, I appreciate the fact that it doesn't take any additional effort from me, right? In order to shake and move and do exactly what I need to do. Now, here's another thing to consider if you are just tossing around the idea, is that all places in Texas, when it comes to the heat, are not created equal. There are some areas, like where I live in Dallas, in the DFW area, where it's drier, right? We don't have many bodies of water, so our humidity level is much lower. So the impact of the heat is not as drastic as places like Houston and San Antonio, where the humidity is much higher. In fact, when I first moved here, it was amazing to me because like a 95-degree day in Texas felt much different from a 95-degree day in Chicago, because in Chicago we had Lake Michigan. So before you think that you can't experience the heat or you wouldn't survive, I encourage you to book a trip and experience the heat during that time, because it may not be the same 95 degrees that you're used to, because the humidity may look different. But really, y'all, the hardest thing when it comes to the heat in Texas is moving from air conditioner to air conditioner. everywhere, every business has their air conditioner on blast. It is normally pleasant. You know, worst case scenario, you might not be able to just frolic around outside and just be outside for extended periods of time, but the sun is shining and you can get where you need to go. And I promise you, it will be cool when you get there. Also, here is another consideration. Depending on where you come from, right? Yes, we do have the warm months in Texas, but the other seasons, for the most part, we have really good weather, but it does get much chillier here than I thought it would. Texas is not like a place like some parts of like Southern Florida, where you're always going to have 70-degree days and above. I actually have a neighbor, they were from California, and they moved from Texas because it was not hot year round the way they thought it was, and the way that they thought it would be. And if I'm being 100% honest, that surprised me too, because there are some cooler days. Now, we don't get snow and things like that as frequently, but the actual temperature can drop lower in the winter months. So don't think that it's like 100 degrees for 10 months out of the year. It's actually quite the opposite. I would say for 9.5 months, we have really pleasant weather or a little cooler weather in the winter months. And the summer months, you know, yeah, it gets hotter then. So all in all, y'all, yes, it gets hot in Texas, but I would rather have a Texas summer than a Midwest winter any day of the week. Now, if you made it to the end of this video and you are not subscribed to my channel, what are you doing with your life? Look, go ahead and subscribe. And while you're at it, give your girl a thumbs up so that I know that you actually like the video. And if there's ever anything that you would love for me to talk about, anything to do with Texas, real estate, all the things, I am your homegirl here to serve you in any way that I can. Talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.